The most important thing I realized when I manifested facial symmetry and harmony was that your face is already perfect, it's already symmetrical, and it's already harmonious. You just can't see it yet. Now, I know that's kind of like a crazy concept to think about, like, okay, but how? Like, that doesn't make sense, because when I look in the mirror, I see asymmetry, I see something that I don't feel resonant with. But that's not truth. That's just a projection. And it's also not something that's permanent. You might think that your face is permanent. You might think like, yeah, this is the face I always had and I'm always going to have. But that's just not true. If that was true, then we wouldn't have aging, right? And I know you might be like, yeah, well, aging is like your face looking worse. But if it's possible for your face to look worse, why isn't it possible for your face to look better? And this is the exact question that led me to my breakthrough. Before I begin, I just wanted to let you know that if you are interested on one-on-one guidance to shift your internal state and identity to someone that has a symmetrical, beautiful, and harmonious face, the information is in the description box. I also have a digital guide available if you prefer a step-by-step process, and that explains exactly what I did to manifest a symmetrical face. When I first wanted to manifest facial symmetry and harmony, I started getting fixated on my asymmetry, and I noticed that the more I fixated on it, the worse it got. For reference, these are some photos of me. These ones are from around 10, 11 years ago. So we can kind of see what my face was on track to look like. But as you can see from my after pictures, I completely changed that. I completely shifted it, and I got the face that I always wanted. My face still seems like it's shifting from day to day, like it's still improving. But right now I feel very happy with the way that I look, and I feel very aligned, and I resonate with it, because back then I did not resonate with my face. And if you're watching this right now, I can assume that you also don't completely resonate with your face, and you feel like you have a vision for it. You feel like it could be better, it could be more harmonious, more beautiful. And truthfully, that's what you already are. You're one with everything, and everything is perfection, so you are perfection. And what we're doing is just aligning with that truth again. So when you're approaching this, don't think about it as like you're trying to change something. You're trying to change your face. No, you're revealing the face that you were always supposed to have. And I feel like when I say that, I feel like more relaxed, relieved, and I feel like that's more effortless. Anything that puts you into more relieved and effortless state is the truth. Okay, so what are the actual steps that you need to take? Firstly, you need to work on your inner state. Everything external comes from the internal. So if your internal state is not aligned with symmetry and harmony, then that's not what you're going to get. If your internal state is aligned with forcing, trying, I don't look good enough, I need to do better, how am I going to do this? When is that going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. Wrong energy. That's the energy of you saying, I do not have symmetry. I do not have harmony. How do I get it? Where do I find it? Where is it? Instead, you want to align with, my face is symmetrical. My face is harmonious. I am perfection. That is my truth. I don't care about what I see in the mirror. That's irrelevant. I know my truth. You are all that is. And if all that is says that they are perfection, harmony, and symmetry, then that's the truth. Everything in your external has to rearrange to match that. And that may include physical actions. You might already be aware, but there's a lot of things you can do, like natural things you can do to improve the way your face looks. You know, like mewing, posture, fascia release in your face. There's all sorts of different things that you can do. Maybe you will even be drawn to certain cosmetic procedures. I don't know. It's not for me to judge. It's not for me to tell you what is correct on your path. Here's the thing. You don't need to stress too much about finding the perfect actions, finding exactly what action you need to take. You just need to worry about aligning yourself with the truth. Because when you align yourself with the truth, the action reveals itself to you. And that's what I found on my journey. There's lots of different actions I took on my journey. Some went well, some went bad. The ones that went bad because I was approaching them from an energy of forcing and desperation. The ones that went well were because they felt right. They felt resonant with me. They felt aligned. They came to me and they were effortless, and it just made sense for me to take them. Do you see what I mean? So go do your research, go learn all this knowledge about the face and the body and stuff, but know that the answers are always going to come to you from the correct state. So your energy is the most valuable thing. Focus on your energy. Ways to shift your energy are things like mirror work, talking to yourself in the mirror, talking to your body, work with your subconscious. In my hypnotherapy background, we learn all about that. And those kind of things are really, really useful when you feel stuck. Another one would be gaining neutrality and reducing the emotional charge, detaching your worth from your appearance. If you'll notice a pattern, you'll see that this is all internal work. And I'm not telling you to neglect the physical. Absolutely, like, look after your physical. Let your body tell you what it needs, because it will tell you. But focus on the internal energy, because that's what's going to drive everything else. So once I achieved neutrality and I removed the attachment between my worth and my appearance, once I lowered my emotional state and stopped needing beauty so much, that's when it actually was allowed to come to me. And that's when I started becoming and embodying the identity of someone that already had their desired appearance. For example, I started doing scary things that I would have been scared to do before. Like I started making videos online. This was like a few years ago now. I've removed them, but I started making videos. And even though I didn't feel like my face was exactly what I wanted, I still took that action that I would have taken if I had the ideal face. I still talked to people that I was attracted to as if I was that person. I moved in the world as someone who had a symmetrical and harmonious face. And because I did that, it had to be reflected back to me. One thing I want to mention is that if you are aligning with symmetry and harmony, if you have significant asymmetry, this might be a process, and this is not a limiting belief. Like I said, you are already symmetrical and harmonious, but your body will go through a process because it literally has to unwind everything to create symmetry. And for example, me, I had like asymmetry in my skull. So unwinding that meant unwinding it in like my shoulders, in my pelvis, in my feet, because it's all connected. So you have to be persistent. You have to be strong. You have to let yourself ride the waves of emotions. And it can be scary at times. It can feel difficult. You might feel like, when is this going to end? But know that you can do it. Have faith. Stay strong in who you know you are and in your vision for yourself and your face. And it will come to you. I promise. You just need to be strong. This is a psycho-spiritual process. This is not about vanity. Most people aren't even going to realize that. But once you start the journey, you will begin to realize that. And you will, as a result, feel more aligned with your true self, which honestly is like the biggest win of all. Like, how could you not want that? And by you aligning with your true self, you're basically raising the vibration of consciousness for the whole planet. So it's literally a win-win-win scenario. So if you want my help, check the description of how you can work with me. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for watching my video. Bye.